let's look at the self-adhesive cements. If you have used this category before, you might be familiar with how well it works together. And it's a really good choice for something like zirconia because of the high strength of zirconia and because what it contains inside of here, and the reason why you can use this cement without any kind of primer. So a couple things to keep in mind if you're using a self-adhesive cement. And of course, these are true for conventional cements too. The restoration's got to be high strength, so any 300 megapascal or higher. So we mentioned Emax lithium disilicate, Emax prime, zirconia, metal. And the tooth's got to have a retentive prep, 4 millimeters in height, 4 to 8 degrees of taper. Okay, that's kind of a wish list of things on a prep. Those are the official numbers. 4 to 8 degrees just doesn't occur in nature. I'd say it's closer to 15 degrees, but most dentists have a decent feel for something that looks retentive or not retentive. But 4 to 8 degrees is what you'll find in prosthodontic textbooks. And the reason that it works and that you don't need a primer is because it's got that 10-MDP, that methacryl oil oxydecyl dihydrogen phosphate, the MDP molecule in the cement itself. And that MDP molecule is what is in zirconia primers as well. And so the fact that it's in the SpeedCEM Plus makes it really well suited to be able to use it inside of Emax Prime zirconia-based restorations. And so you don't have to use a zirconia primer with it. So it makes it very efficient to be able to use it by just placing the cement inside of the crown. Now you would think that that name, the 10-MDP, would be one of the CE questions, but it's not, because I don't trust you guys to remember it. And you say, well, Mike, you're just reading it off the slide. What's the big deal? Well, watch this. I'm going to change the slide, and I can still say methacryl oil oxydecyl dihydrogen phosphate. Thank you. So the advantages of using SpeedCEM Plus, it's high bond strength. It's ideal for opaque restorations. It's not a super translucent cement because it's not an aesthetic cement, but that makes it easier to clean up and be able to see. Very radio opaque. And again, you don't need any adhesives on the tooth itself. You don't need any primers for zirconia or metal, and it works well with Ivoclean. So it's a great, simple, straightforward way to be able to place Emax Prime restorations, or you can use it for other zirconia restorations as well. And here's an example. Let's take a look at the steps as we're placing this into a mouth with the SpeedCEM Plus. So step one is to remove the temporary bridge, lifting it off here with a sickle scaler. And then we need to clean the tooth preparations to make sure that they're free of debris and temporary cement. So we're using Proxit Medium, a fluoride-free prophy paste, to ensure that we've got nice, clean preparations. And once we've achieved that, we will rinse all of the Proxit Medium off the preparations and try the bridge into place. We're holding it in place with a ball burnisher so we can check the margins with a sharp explorer to see whether or not the margins are closed. Once we have tried in the bridge, we have to assume it's been contaminated by saliva. So you're just going to put the Ivoclean inside both units and just leave it in place for 20 seconds. And once 20 seconds has elapsed, we're going to rinse it out. So after you rinse it out, make sure that you dry it as well afterwards, because the next step is to place the SpeedCEM Plus cement directly into the bridge. And you can see how easy it is to express it right from the syringe into the bridge, and then we place the bridge into the patient's mouth. And again, we'll use a ball burnisher to push down on the bridge and verify that it's completely seated before we do our spot tack. So we're going to cure for 1 second at each of the quarter line angles. So on the molar is going to be 2 on the buccal and 2 on the lingual, and then we'll move forward to the bicuspid and do that same 1 second tack cure at each of the quarters as well. And you can see with that 1 second, the SpeedCEM Plus has a nice gel state and it peels right off from around the tooth. And because SpeedCEM Plus is a resin cement and has an air inhibited layer, we're going to place the liquid strip glycerin gel around there and do our final cure of 20 seconds per surface with the liquid strip glycerin gel in place.